If you have seen my other videos, you probably know that on this channel I mostly talk about happiness, about how you can control yourself, how you can control your states, and how you can be this bigger person that has a complete control on yourself. But sometimes there are situations in our life that we can't control, and we shouldn't deny that we have those attachments, that we do feel pain, that this hurts. Maybe one of the hardest examples will be when a person that you love passes away, or when you lose a thing that you love, thing that you wanted. And in today's video I want to help you, and I want to talk with you really about this topic of psychological pain and how you can deal with it by yourself using self-defense mechanisms, but the right one. So you will be able, first of all, at least to avoid this pain. No matter how hard it hurts, you will be able a little bit to forget about this. At second stage, you will be so present in the moment in something new that you will really forget about this pain that you feel. And at the third stage, you will really become happy in a new, amazing way you never thought before. But at first, a little disclaimer, I also want to talk with you about the topic of pain itself, because it really is a huge and important and even primary one when we are talking about development or about understanding the nature of good and evil. It always comes this topic of pain, and there are many different philosophies and concepts that cover this topic. And today I'm only talking about one of many different ways that we can perceive pain and we can deal with it. This is the way from psychology that I personally use, because I'm not, for example, at those advanced steps as Buddhists are, maybe, that are talking about attachment as the main reason of our pain, and that if you never want to suffer in this world, you will better rid off your attachments. But that's not the thing that I can do at this stage of my development, for example. That's why I can't talk about those things. There's also, for example, this beautiful, amazing school of philosophy which is called Stoicism, and they have another perspective of how you can be a stoic, so don't let anything from the outside this power to control you. There's also many other schools about dealing with your ego, which causes most of our pains, again because of our attachments, because of our wishes, because of our frustration because of those wishes. And those schools I might cover sometime in my other videos, but in today's video I want to talk about the thing that I use personally that really works, and which is a bit maybe easier way. This is something that helps when you are really weak, when you really don't have any more power to fight, to prove, to work on your development, on anything, when you are really feeling bad, really bad. I personally always wanted to be a strong person, but I'm not. And such things, such weaknesses, they happen to me, they happen to many people. Maybe to all of us, and we need to know how to deal in such situations and how to get yourself out of it. And exactly at this point, whether you know it or not, whether you understand it or not, whether you're conscious about it or not conscious about it, you always start to use self-defense mechanisms to defend yourself. Attention please! Unfortunately, because of translation, I made a huge mistake during this whole video. This is called defense mechanisms, because self-defense mechanisms is probably something else. This is important to know, that there are good ones. There are self-defense mechanisms that can bring you peace, this inner happiness, that can bring happiness to the people around you, for example, through art, through sublimation, or through intellectualization, when you learn, when you study, when you understand reasons of your problem. And there are also, I'm gonna say, really bad self-defense mechanisms that destroy you from the inside, then destroy your environment, and that really doesn't help. So what I want to bring to you in this video is this understanding of this difference. I will name all those self-defense mechanisms, so you will know this, so you will be able to recognize them, and you will see which instruments your psycho used to destroy, to distract you from this pain that you're feeling, and you can be conscious about it. So the next time, or maybe this time when you feel it, you will be able to choose how to react, and how to react in a long run, what this pain will bring you, because this pain could also bring you happiness in the long run. Strange but true. So first of all, let's start with self-defense mechanisms that I will personally define as bad one. The one that destroys you, distracts you, and the one that doesn't bring you happiness in the long run. Run. Number 1, denial. This is exactly the thing that I was into for the last maybe months, and that's why I want to talk about this at the very beginning, because I have something to say. Maybe it's just me, but I like to generalize, so today I will use the pronoun we. So, we all want to be strong, and we all want to be clever, and we all want to be wise, and sophisticated, like none of those life situations can really hurt me. And that's why this idea from Stoicism about not letting anything from the outside distract your inner state can be also that tricky, because sometimes we do feel pain. It distracts us, but we are in denial. We deny it, but we still feel it, but we can't find a reason why we feel it because we deny it. I know, our psychology is so tricky. Welcome, it's only the beginning. The main problem with denial, really, is that this lasts for such a long time without any solution, because to find a solution you need to understand the problem, and you don't. A very simple example from my life, I currently can't be, unfortunately, with the person that I love because I have problems with my visa and I can't come to the city where he lives, and I just need to travel all around the world right now in my hometown, and I really miss him, and I really feel myself bad missing him, but I deny it. I'm telling like, no, I'm not, I'm okay, I'm a strong woman. And at one point I just realized, well, Svetlana, stop it, you know about those self-defense mechanisms, you're even making videos about such topics. Just sit down and think and reflect and understand what is the true reason of your pain, not the reason that you're telling yourself, but what is the true one. And after understanding this, pain won't go anywhere, but at least you can start moving. You can understand, oh God, okay, it hurts. Then I need to use good self-defense mechanisms, and that's what I do. And that's why I'm starting to feel myself much better. See, I'm filming. It's actually my sublimation. Something really similar to denial might be repression, which sometimes could be a good self-defense mechanism and sometimes could be a bad one. It causes problems mostly when we use it unconsciously. We can repress a pain and distract from it, for example, by watching TV shows or drinking too much alcohol or being too social. Or for example, when you had a breakup and you want to have new relationships just to cover this pain, this all is repression, which can be sometimes good and can sometimes lead to good new experience, but sometimes not. Good examples of this are when you, for instance, start traveling to distract yourself from the situation, or when you use another amazingly good self-defense mechanism, which is intellectualization, and which I love, as you might guess. Intellectualization, and please don't confuse it with rationalization, they are different, and second is bad, but first one is my favorite, my bestie. It is also one sort of repression. But what type of repression? You also want to survive, you also want to distract yourself from this pain, and you do this with knowledge. You do this with education, or maybe if you are in some problem, you do this with research. And by getting into this education, which could have absolutely nothing in common with the topic you had problems with, for example, you have pain in, again, our hard things, but you're studying biology because you're interested. With the time, you are so much into this knowledge, you are so curious, you are so shocked about things that you found about our world. Oh my God, how amazing this all works, that you really sincerely don't think at all anymore about the topic you had problem with because this is so interesting, I don't care anymore. Bacterias. Self-actualization is my favorite, I recommend. But what is rationalization then? Rationalization is a trick that your mind uses to rationalize anything. Okay, maybe sometimes it could be a good thing. For example, you didn't got the job that you wanted, or you lost somewhere in the very important contest, and your rationalization is like, hey, this is a good thing that you didn't got the job. You know why? Because they all are idiots and you don't want to be surrounded by idiots. Yeah, I know, such a strong logic. In many ways, this might help you not to feel this pain as bad as you do. But for me, I think personally that this is another sort of denial and of hiding the truth from yourself. And it is so important really in this world to know the truth and to accept it, because this is the only way that you can develop yourself and how you can move forward. With knowing this truth that sometimes might hurt, you can become a better person. So since that moment when your mind again will try to rationalize something and to make you believe false arguments just because it's better for you to believe in them, you can say, hey, stop bullshitting me, you mind. I'm Neo, I'm the chosen one, and I won't deny that I'm feeling so bad right now. But there is also suppression. Yeah, I know, so many words, which I personally consider more as a good one, because at least it's conscious. So, suppression is your conscious choice. For example, like Scarlett O'Hara from Gone with the Wind, which is my favorite book, where she says, I won't think about it today, I will think about it tomorrow. It's your conscious choice not to deal with this problem right now, or not to think about those things that cause you pain, because why should you go more into it? Why should you feel this again right now when you are in your most vulnerable state, especially in many stressful situations? For example, if you're a public person, if you have some public speech, or if you have a concert in few minutes, and then you know that someone died or your fiance cheated on you, and you can't afford yourself to be sad at this moment, you can't afford yourself to be fully in this pain, but you know that one day, 1 second, 1 moment you will need this, because this is how you really feel, and you simply make suppression. By the way, suppression doesn't really mean that you will think about this thing much later if you would want to. It could also mean that you won't think about this topic ever again. Now let's talk about self-defense mechanisms that are bad, that might even bring you problems with relationships with others, which are passive aggression and displacement. Passive aggression, I'm sure you have heard about this already, is when you feel yourself bad, when you feel pain, when you maybe in denial again about this pain, and you simply want everyone to feel pain. As simple as it is. But you can't really show this. You can't be like active aggressive. No, because you need to wear this social mask where you are an elegant social woman or man or child, where you need to be polite to everyone, but inside. And every time you have an opportunity, you will say something so nasty, and no one will understand even that you're nasty to them. You will be passive aggressive. You know those people. Oh, I'm so happy for you. Why? Well, because you're pregnant. No, you're not? I'm sorry. I guess this dress just makes you look like you are. We shouldn't be mad at those people. They must be really, really hurt, and they feel such a huge pain inside. And I'm not even sure that a doctor can help them. Did you mention I'm being passive-aggressive now? Yes, it's tricky. Displacement, another sort of using other people to reveal your pain, is when, for example, you have this pain from some other source. Your boss cried to you and said that you're an idiot, and you come to your kid and you said that he's an idiot because you feel pain. This is what's called displacement, and we need to be conscious when we do this, because we do this all the time. But there is also a very positive self-defense mechanism that can bring you to an absolutely new level of happiness and of your development and of being a bigger person, which is, you will never guess, altruism. Who would know, right? You can really hide from your pain by being good to others, and with the time you will see this huge influence that you have in this world, how much good thing you can bring in it. Last but not least, great self-defense mechanism that I'm using right now is sublimation, right? It's when you take your pain and you transform it into art. You transform it into doing something. You can draw your pain, which is art therapy. You can write about your pain, which is writing therapy, I guess. You can write poems, sing songs. You know how many of our music is made this way? Because sublimation is the way to write those songs about broken heart that we're all listening to. Things fall apart, but nothing breaks like a heart. Yeah, I know, I should be a singer. There are different levels of sublimation, I would also say. There is like this sublimation when you simply feel yourself better, you do like, oh, this is my art. Eat it. I'm sorry for being too precise. But there's also this bigger art, which might help other people that are dealing with the same problems that you do. For example, as I do right now. I solved this problem for myself, and now I'm sharing my result. I'm making some art. And this pain brought something in the world that can make it better. Isn't this amazing? What a sensation! Computer died, and sublimation. That's what she tried. See, I'm creating art like breathing. I'm waiting till Windows will work again. That's my plan. Yes, sure, how could I forget about this? Another, my favorite self-defense mechanism is daydreaming or schizoid fantasy. Yeah, schizoid fantasy is my favorite. I mean, it's not my problem they call daydreaming this way. And someone might say that this is a waste of time and this is the bad self-defense mechanism because it wastes your time. But my dreams are amazing. Things that I can see with my visions are incredible and in many ways better than reality itself. And for me are as true as reality because they show many things about myself, about my personality and many deeper meanings. And maybe everything that I said before is just my rationalization. It becomes so interesting to argue when you know those psychological terms, right? And by the way, there are other interesting defense mechanisms that I didn't cover in this video, so if you want to know more, check out links in the description. But this is it! Now please like, subscribe and support me. Thank you. You did it, right? Please write me in the comment if you do recognize yourself in using such mechanisms and what are your favorite. I told you what my favorite is. Denial. I wish you all to be conscious about working with your pain, or more precisely, never to feel it. And remember that together we'll make a world better.